Our final guest this evening was born in Guatemala and came to Chicago undocumented in the mid-'80s. He told his first story at a Moth Story Slam to get over the stuttering that plagued his childhood, and since then he has won close to 40 Moth Slams and several Grand Slams. His stories have been featured at several national radio shows, such as the Moth Radio Hour and Snap Judgment. He also created, hosts, produced, and curates his own storytelling show, 80 Minutes Around the World, which features the stories of immigrants, their descendants, and allies, with ongoing presentations in Chicago, New York, and Detroit. Welcome back to Tuesday Funk, Nestor the Boss Gomez.
No, that's true.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens all the time. So just a little explanation. My nickname is Nestor the Boss Gomez, and a lot of people here are like, oh, he's the shit. Well, yes, I know. I thinking that you are something is nothing bad. It's good to have self-confidence, especially for those of us that struggle a lot to gain our self-confidence. But the boss, to me, is more like what it sounds in Spanish, which is boss. Sounds like boss, which means voice. And for a long time, I didn't have a voice. I used to stutter, so I couldn't talk. I was undocumented, so I couldn't vote. And I couldn't speak English because I came from a country that didn't speak any English, so I had to learn the language. So getting to have a voice means a lot to me. And also in Guatemala, we don't call each other güey like Mexicans do. We call each other boss. Hey boss, vení para acá. Hey you, come over here. So when somebody calls me boss, it's like they're calling me what people call me in Guatemala. So I just wanted to make that little, I want to make that clear. It's not because I think I'm the shit. My wife will probably be like, yeah, he does. But yeah, so here's my story. When my mother bought her house, she called me to install a washer and a dryer on her basement. Now, I had no idea how to install a washer and a dryer in a basement, but I figured that my mother had come to this country undocumented, without knowing any English, and had managed with hard work and dedication to save enough money to buy her own damn house by herself. The least I could do was go to her house and install the washer and the dryer. So I went to her basement and I started looking at the washer and dryer, and I figured out how to install the washer, and then I figured out how to hook up the dryer to the gas pipe, and then I noticed that there was not a hole in the wall. There wasn't a hole for me to put the vent for the dryer. So I took out my little drill and I started to make holes in the wall until I could make a hole big enough, and then with my hammer I hit the wall, and it took a lot of work. There were these little stupid cables that kept getting in the way, so I got aggravated. I got a couple of pliers and I cut the dang cables away, and I made a hole in the wall. I put the duct for the dryer, and then I called my mom and said, like, look, your dryer and your washer are working. I just saved you about $200. I learned a couple of days later that the little cables that I had cut were the cables for the phone line. And my mom had to pay about $500 to get those fixed. So yeah. But my mom doesn't have a lot of money, so every time that something happens in her house, she calls me, hey, can you come and fix this? And usually I have no idea how to fix things, but she calls me anyway. So last summer, there was a light in her washroom that wasn't working properly, and I figured while my mom was out, I went to her house and I wanted to surprise her and put a new light there. So I went up there and I managed to crawl into the small space in the attic, because I had to get to the attic, to get to the ceiling, to get to the washroom light. And I managed to crawl in there, and I managed to change the light without getting electrocuted. But as I was crawling out of there, I missed one of the beams, and my leg hit the drywall and it just went right through. At the last minute, I managed to hold on to one of the beams on the attic, but I was left with one foot going to the ceiling, the other one on the other side of the vent, and I was sitting on the vent for the heater, and I almost broke it. I managed to pull myself up, and then I look at the vent, I'm like, okay, so now I gotta fix this, so I put some tape around it. And I went to the hardware store, grabbed some drywall, and I patched up the ceiling, and it kind of worked. A couple of weeks ago, my mom called me because her heater wasn't working properly. And first I thought, oh, it must be because of the dog that like it probably came off loose and the heat is going up on the attic. So I told my mom, I'll be there. Because she usually calls me because her pilot goes out. The pilot goes out and I had to go there later. So I'm like, it's either the pilot or it's either the vent that came off loose, so I'm gonna go. So I went up there, I crawled all the way up into the attic again, and I crawled all the way back, and like I saw the pilot was working. So I went to check on the vent, and the vent was fine. So I came downstairs, and my mom was like, did you fix it? I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on. And my mom gave me that look of, she's worried about it, right? So I'm like, okay, so maybe it's the thermostat. So I went to check the thermostat, and I moved the thermostat up and down. I unscrewed it from the wall, and I checked the little cables that go into the wall. I'm like, well, everything seems to be okay. Like I put it right back, and I went to tell my mom, I have no idea what's going on. You're gonna have to call an expert. Yo no tengo dinero para llamar a un expert. You know what I mean? She had no money to call an expert. So before she said anything else, I went up into the attic. Now by now, I look like I was working on a mine shaft. I'm like dirt all over the place, and I'm getting pissed off because I had no idea how to fix this heater. So I told my mom, why is it so messy up in here? It's usually a mess, but now it's just super messy. And she's like, oh, because they came to fix the roof last week. I used up all my money, but they came to fix the roof, and that's why it's so messy up there. And then I think about it, and I tell my mom, oh, was the heater working before they fixed the roof? And she's like, yeah, it was working. I'm like, ah. She's like, what does the roof has to do with the heater anyway? She asked, and I said, like, nothing. But I remember when I was fixing the dryer, and I remember how I cut those stupid little cables. And I'm thinking, maybe these people that were fixing the roof cut the cable that go from the thermostat to the heater. Mm-hmm. So I look, and yep, it's cut in 3 different places. Oh, no. So I get a little tape, electrical tape, and I 3 times, and as soon as I pass up the last piece of cable, the heater goes, comes to life. And I come down, and the mom looking at me, you fixed it! How do you do it? I go, immigrants, we get the job done. And my mom looks at me like, what? Because she hasn't seen Hamilton. But she's really happy and she wants to give me a hug. But I'm like, a mess. And my mom is like, oh, maybe you should go take a shower first. And I think about it. And I tell my mom, no, because if I take a shower right now and I go home all clean, my wife's gonna be like, where you been? You went to your mom's house, look how you, she's not gonna believe me. That's what I tell my mom, but that's not really what I was thinking, because my wife is cool. What I was thinking is that if I get into her shower and I turn on that water, maybe the head for the washer, for the shower is not working properly. Maybe the water doesn't go out like it's supposed to. Maybe I take a shower and when I try to wash my hands, maybe the sink is not working, or maybe the light won't turn on. So I'm better off not even getting into the washroom and not finding out that something else is broken and needs to be fixed. So before I get stuck there for another 2 hours, I told my mom, no, I just gotta go home. I just, I had to be at work tomorrow. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get you some food. And she goes into the kitchen and she brought this like a bunch of, like 20 containers of food, because that's what Latina women, that's what Latina mothers do. They give you food for like the whole month. So she gives me a lot of food, and I grab the food and I run to my car before something else breaks, and she calls me again. And as I'm driving away, I see my mom waving at me. And I'm thinking, I hope she doesn't call me that something else is broke. But I know that if she calls me and tells me, mijo, something broke, come fix it, I would turn the car around and get my little toolbox, even if I have no freaking idea how to fix whatever is broken. Because I learned from her that you should always try your best. Thank you.